Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and I was always told I had a voice radio, so today it's time to talk about the new Gothitelle from the upcoming Guardians Rising expansion. Now, Gothitelle did have her heyday a little while ago. The Emerging Powers Gothitelle was a very powerful card, made a very successful deck when everybody was excited about and playing Tropical Beach. But that was been on for a little while now, so how does the new Gothitelle stack up? Well, the fact that she is a Stage 2 Pokemon means that you've got to use Rare Candy. That's going to be awkward. It means that either you wait till turn 3 to manually evolve, or turn 2 and hope you've got the Rare Candy. And as I always say with these Stage 2 Pokemon, this is a huge bar to them being viable. Now, the fact that Gothitelle is a Psychic type means you are hitting weakness against things like Mega Mewtwo and Espeon, and if Lunala GX ever sees play, this could be quite fun, because of course Lunala's got the brilliant ability that allows you to move that Psychic energy around the field as you like, although Lunala's also a Stage 2, and we know that Stage 2 decks can work with Grass, Decidueye and Vileplume because of Forest of Giant Plants. Two Psychic-type Stage 2s I worry about. Now, weakness to Psychic is actually a lot better because Mega Mewtwo doesn't hit for weakness, so it's only really Espeon at the moment. Now, the first attack says that you get to choose one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, switch it with their active, and do 30 to the new active Pokemon for just a single Psychic energy. And there are two uses for this attack. Number one, you can just KO a bench Pokemon. If there's a bench Pokemon with 30 HP or less remaining, then you use this attack, bring it into the active, do the 30 damage, they get KO'd, and you've gotten a prize without having to use something like a Lysander. The second use for this attack is stranding something in the active. You do 30 damage, 60 if you play a Choice Band, because Choice Band allows you to do 30 more to EXs or GXs only. So you just drag it into the active and leave it there. Something like a Hooper with a retreat cost of 2. You do 60 damage, stranded in the active, 60 because of the weakness, and then your opponent scrambling for a Floatstone or just having to leave it in the active, and you buy yourself a couple of turns of free attacks. Now, do remember that you can get some KOs on stuff with this attack. You KO Magikarp with its paltry 30 HP. If you play a Professor Kukui, you will KO Rattata with the 40 HP, but you're just not going to be KOing all that much. Really, if you're using this for damage, you want to be finishing off Pokemon that have been retreated. Otherwise, it's a stranding attack. The second attack might look quite familiar, because we've seen it before. Psychic and a Colourless, and you do 50 damage, but if you've got the same amount of energy as the defending Pokemon, you do 130. This is a more powerful version of the Steam Siege Gardevoir EX's attack, which again was a coloured, in this case fairy, and psychic energy. But Gardevoir did 30 plus 70, whereas this does 50 plus 80. 130 for 2 energy, make no mistake about it, that's a powerful attack. We're used to seeing 130 for 3 energy, 130 for 2 is very, very nice. It will get a 1-hit KO on things like Mega Mewtwo, and it will 2-hit KO basically everything else. Like so many attacks nowadays, and regular viewers of this channel will know, 1-hit KOs if they're weak, 2-hit KOs if they're not. Now, Mega Mewtwo is often going to have 2 energy on for Psychic Infinity, that's nice. Espeon GX is quite often going to have 3 energy on there, so you just add a 3rd energy and you'll get the 1-hit KO on Espeon. But remember that you're giving up 1 prize and your opponent is giving up 2 prizes. That's very, very nice. These are 2 good attacks. I like both of these attacks. They're not very much energy. They've got their uses. The first one strands them in the active and takes cheeky KOs. The second one does a fair amount of damage for just 2 energy. But we're back at the same problem with which I started this video, ladies and gentlemen. It's too awkward trying to get these Stage 2s. If you're playing Grass, you can use Forest of Giant Plants. But if you're playing Psychic Stage 2s, it just doesn't work very much, unfortunately. There aren't that many good Stage 2 decks around that aren't Grass for this exact reason. I mean, Greninja saw a lot of play before the new Giratina came out, but that had Frogadier, which helped you set up multiple Greninjas. It's very sad, I just don't think it's going to work very well. So I'm going to have to give it between 2 and 3 Wossies. We don't give half Wossies, that would be barbaric. The attacks here are good. Giving up a single prize is good. 140 HP is good. Psychic is a pretty good weakness to have right now. But it's a stage 2, and that pretty much ruins it. To put it simply, Espeon GX, even though it gives up another prize, is just probably a better option most of the time. My apologies. Now you know the deal, ladies and gentlemen. There is a comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. There are buttons to both like this video and subscribe to this channel, and I believe you should use them both. You can find me on Twitter @TheWossie, and the most important thing as always is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.